As promised earlier this week, 2 million doses of the Sinopharm vaccine reached Sri Lanka today. A flight carrying 2.3 million doses of the jab landed in the island this morning, with 300,000 of it being a donation from the People's Liberation Army of China to Sri Lanka's armed forces.
මෙතනදී අපේ ආරක්ෂක හමුදාවල සමාජකයින්ටත් ඔවුන්ගේ පවුල්වල ළඟම ඥාතීන්ටත් ඒ වගේම විශ්‍රාම ගිය සෙබළුන්ට සහ ඔවුන්ගේ පවුල්වල අයටත් මේ එන්නත ලබාගෙන නොමැති අයට මේ එන්නත ලබා දෙන්න අපි කල්පනා කරනවා. ඒ වගේම දැනට ආරක්ෂක හමුදා සමාජකයින් විශාල සංඛ්‍යාවක් එන්නත්කරණය කරලා තියෙන නිසා අපිට පුළුවන් වෙයි මේ එන්නතෙන් කොටසක් අපේ රටේ සාමාන්‍ය ජනතාවටත් ලබා දෙන්න.
I think the donation of 300,000 doses of Sinopharm vaccines is an important part of the effort for us to support the Sri Lankan people, especially the Sri Lanka armed forces, to fight against this COVID-19 pandemic. And I'm sure today we are gathering here to show the solidarity, and we are together through these hard times, and I'm sure we will win this battle. And Sri Lankan people and Chinese people, we've been enjoying long-standing relationship together, and this relationship is growing stronger through these difficult times. I can guarantee you, whatever is beneficial for the Sri Lankan people, China and Chinese people and Chinese armed forces will not hesitate to do anything which is good for you. So we are together, all in this. Let's work together for the health and for the good future for us all.
The balance of 2 million doses is part of a purchase order made by the State Pharmaceuticals Corporation. State Minister of Production, Supply and Regulation of Pharmaceuticals, Professor Chandajaya Sumana, stated that this consignment raises the total number of Sinopharm vaccines received by the island to 18 million. What's more, there was another vaccine arrival this morning. 100,000 doses of the Pfizer vaccine also reached the island. The batch is a donation from the United States via the World Health Organization's COVAX facility. Releasing a statement, the US Embassy in Colombo said that these vaccines will help save lives and increase the COVID-19 vaccine coverage in Sri Lanka, essential to ending the pandemic. As of last evening, there had been 12,290,482 partial immunizations in Sri Lanka. From that figure, 6,873,138 people had been fully immunized, meaning just over 50% of people to have been given the first dose are now completely covered. Though a lockdown is in effect, the pace of the vaccination has not dropped. 327,114 people were given the jab yesterday. It includes 33,571 administrations of the first dose and 293,543 second dose administrations. The government's target vaccination group continues to be the over 30s in the country. Though over 12 million people have received the first dose so far, the figure also includes some between 18 and 30 years of age, as persons in specific sectors such as essential services, the Triforces and health sector were given the jab. So on paper, all the people above the age of 30 in the island are at least partially vaccinated. However, there remain some who have delayed opting for the jab over various reasons. But the vaccination can't stop at over 30s, and the health authorities are focused on rolling the jab out to even those under the age of 18. And for that, Sri Lanka need many more doses of the precious vaccine.
We plan to vaccinate initially about 30, then about 18, and our immunization program has decided at some point we need to vaccinate school children also. So in that context, we know that we have to vaccinate about 17.5 million population in Sri Lanka, and for that we need about 35.5 million vaccinations as double doses. And so far we have got here in Sri Lanka about 22 million vaccines, and we need another 13 million doses to complete our vaccination, and that is in the pipeline. In the month of September, we get another 8 million vaccines Sinopharm, and in October, we are getting 4 million doses of Pfizer vaccine, and with that, we can complete the total vaccination program without any problem. So the important fact that we need to consider at this point is, even though we vaccinate, the total immunization of the population comes at least 2 weeks after completion of the second dose. During this period, we know that everybody in this country, especially the people who have long-term comorbidities, does not have the complete immunization or complete ability to cope with the virus. Therefore, we need to go very slow during this period, avoiding crowded places. Be careful when you are associating with people so that you could get this illness until we get the full immunization and ability to cope with the virus. So it will take at least another 2 to 3 weeks. We are thinking about early October. So until early October, our population, even though we have vaccinated, are slightly vulnerable to these new variants.
Whatever said and done, the purpose of any vaccine is to raise an individual's immune response to the virus and reduce incidence of severe disease and death. But some countries which were quick to inoculate their people are now seeing a surge in the virus spread. Israel is one of them.
මේ වගේ ඉතාමත්ම ගැටලුකාරී තැන් මේ වසංගතය සම්බන්ධව පැතිරෙනවා විශේෂයෙන්ම ඊශ්‍රායලය කියන රටේ මුලින්මම එන්නත දීලා රෝගය ඉතාමත්ම ඉක්මනින් පාලනය කළා ආයිමක්වත් රට විවෘත කළා රටේ ජනතාවට මාස් හැදීමත් අනවශ්‍යයි කිව්ව රටක් නමුත් වැඩියෙන්ම බලපෑම් ඇති කරන්න පුළුවන් එන්නත කියන ෆයිසර් එන්නත තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ දුන්නේ එහෙම කරලා දැන් මේ වෙනකොට ආයිමක්වත් රටේ මේ රෝගය වේගයෙන් පැතිර යමින් පවතිනවා ඒ රටේ මේ රෝගය පැතිර යාම පැවැත්වීමට හේතු කාරණා බොහෝමයක්ම සඳහන් කරනවා. ප්‍රධානම හේතුව ෆයිසර් එන්නතේ ක්‍රියාකාරීත්වයේ මන්ද වීම මාස 6ක් විතර යනකොට මේ සෑම එන්නතකම ක්‍රියාකාරීත්වය අඩු වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් ඒ වගේම ෆයිසර් එන්නතත් ක්‍රියාකාරීත්වය අඩු වෙන එක එකක්. ඒ එක්කම සෑහෙන ප්‍රමාණයක් දරුවන් මේ එන්නතට ගණන් නොගත්තා වුණාට දරුවන් රෝගය පතුරනවා. ඉතින් එතකොට ඒ දරුවන් අතර රෝගය තිබීම ඒ වගේම මේ ඩෙල්ටා ප්‍රභේදය ඒ රටට පැමිණීම. මොකද ඒගොල්ලන්ට මුලින්ම තිබුණේ ඩෙල්ටා ප්‍රභේදය නෙමෙයි. දැන් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ ඩෙල්ටා ප්‍රභේදය. ඒ වගේම ප්‍රීමැචුවලි මුව ආවරණ ඉවත් කිරීමට රජය තීරණය කිරීම. කියන මේ වගේ බොහෝ කරුණු කාරණා මේකට හේතු වෙනවා ඒ රටවල පාලනය වැළැක්වීමට. අපි දැනුවත් වෙන්න ඕන චීනය මුල අවස්ථාවේදී මේ රෝගය පාලනය කළේ එන්නතෙන් නෙමෙයි නමුත් සෞඛ්‍ය ක්‍රමවලින් මුව ආවරණ පැළඳීම සහ දුරස්ථභාවය තබා ගැනීම කියන එකෙන් කියන එක.
What this makes evident is that adherence to the health and safety guidelines is of paramount importance, even if a person is completely vaccinated. As a country, that's the only way to get out of this.
කට උත්තර නැති වෙන්න කලින් සිග්නල් ඩීප් ක්ලීන් එකකට මාරු වෙන්න.